Just get some chocks, we'll chock you up, we'll strap you down and make you do a proper burnout. He's a clever guy, really clever guy. Welcome back to the channel. It's Sunday service today, so we are upside down. Johnathan's got the, let's call it a barrier coat on there. So now we need 4 layers of the tooling resin and the 450 matting on there. We'll do these bits here and that bit there while it's upside down. These bits have already got 4 on it. If you look there, you can see how thick 4 layers. It's getting on for 5 mil. It's about 4 mil thick, isn't it? Yeah. Fabio's over there with the S13, wiring away. Reckons it'll be running in a couple of weeks. Decided he wants to put a 6-speed sequential, 8-speed sequential into the Escort. What type of box is DSG? What is it?
It's an auto, but it's an 8 HP.
An 8 HP.
Yeah, Z8 HP. So they've got clutches in.
He's been working how to alter these 8-speed automatic gearboxes so that you can turn it into a sequential. Like my Jag has got an 8-speed, it's the same gearbox, and you can drive it automatically and not touch anything, or you can switch to the flappy paddles and you've got your 8-speed sequential essentially. So Fabio has, yours is an 8-speed, isn't it? So this has got one in, and Rudy's has got the 6-speed version in, and so that's your gear lever.
Yeah.
Like, that couldn't get any more cool. So it's like you've got a clutchless sequential gearbox basically, with way more control and feedback and bite than a normal sequential, yeah. And you can have a clutch on it as well, which is quite weird. You can just so you can kick the clutch. Yeah, and they're only 300 quid as opposed to 1500 quid for a sequential. So what Johnathan's done, 15,000?
Proper sequential, yeah.
All right, okay, 15 grand. Add a nought. So what Johnathan's done is he's worked out using DYNOs. Yeah, so he's programmed. I'm going to show you these little. The solenoids, Johnathan. They are, aren't they? I'll show you what's inside. So this is essentially the controller that changes the gears using these solenoids and oil ways, I guess. So when, like, say so that
there's oil comes in through these.
Yeah.
And speed sensors for input and output. These 2 solenoids do the park lock, so you can manually lock it out as well. And then the rest of the solenoids do pressure control and the 5 clutches. So there's 5 clutch packs.
Are these like wet clutches, like in a motorbike?
Like a motorbike
yeah.
Clutch, yeah. So combination of different clutches does a combination of different gears, so you can get 8 speeds out of 5 clutches. Right,
but so obviously this is just like this. It's kind of like the future, really, in gearboxes, I think, and that seems to be the way a lot of drifters are using it, like race cars are using it, and the manual selection of gears is. Who'd have thought it though, that we would have got to this.
Well, what you're controlling is a solenoid, which is very fast, so you can change in like 50 milliseconds or so. Just with you do away with the little ECU, the original ECUs there. Do away with that and link all the wires together and bring them out on the main plug.
Yeah.
Which is 16 pins on there, so it's more than enough pins.
Yeah.
You've got an oil temperature sensor in there, and then you can keep an eye on how much slip there is between the 2 speed sensors. There's a torque lock up on them as well, so the torque converter can be locked So then it's more like a manual than an auto.
So he says he hasn't done anything, but he's built some software to control that.
The solenoids.
The solenoids. He's not tested it yet. It's not quite finished yet, but he has done it and he will finish it. And yeah, I'm super impressed with him anyway, because like, yeah, he's a clever guy, really clever guy. Not many people could work that out. So yes, well done, Johnathan. He's very humble, isn't he? Look at the awesome car we've built. So that'd be cool, because it's nice to see this thing doing what it should be doing, instead of sitting about doing nothing, apart from the odd burnout. We haven't had a burnout lately, Johnathan. Was it a good one? Should we like put burnout across the screen like that and see if we can encourage him to do one? All right, okay. So if we get 1,000 subscribers, it's not a case of if, it's a case of when. But when we get to 1,000 subscribers, Johnathan's going to do what?
I might do a small burnout.
They're always small burnouts. Like, we need to wedge it and get the tyres. Right, well, we'll just get some chocks, we'll chock it up, we'll strap you down and make you do a proper burnout. Well, let's destroy them. Not too much that it rips the back arches off, like, but yeah, proper burnout, imminent. So that's now 4 layers on there, and there. So once this has gone off, we're going to flip it over vertically. We're just going to flip it over vertically and do it like that, or do you want it right the way over? Anyway, we're going to flip it over to some angle once these have gone off, and then we'll be able to do the other. So that's us done for the day, only because we're waiting on fiberglass to dry. We're going to go outside and Johnathan's going to fly this little thing. Angry birds. There'll be an upset bird if he crashes it. I probably won't be able to keep track of it. Christ, it sounds like a wasp.
Yeah, a little bit.
New back curve over there. Still not ready. I don't know what he's doing in there, but I'm not too fussed at the minute, because really I want to finish the car off at Johnathan's. We started it there, so I want to finish it there. It's surprising how quiet it is, like. For such a big blade. I know it's a little helicopter, but when you compare it to a drone,
You're only changing the pitch though, so it's got very little pitch on.
yeah, it's got very little pitch, where a drone's got like a lot of pitch.
Till you give it, and then the rear rear is done by a little motor, so it's speeding up and slowing
I
down.
think it's the rear motor that we can hear actually,
Yeah,
that
when
sounds
it's
like
hitting.
the...
Yeah. It's got telemetry on the... No, I didn't see that, but it's got 33% on there. So we've done nearly 8 minutes of flight there. One less obstacle in the way.
Engine off.
Cool.